do a cool intro. Hey guys, my name's Lectum. Don't worry about this. I'm left-handed. It's natural. You want to say hi to the viewers, Scouty? Come here. Oh, Scouty, come here. Scouty, come here. Good boy. You guys want to say hi to my dog real quick? Look at him. Scouty, you're such a good boy. This is Scout. He's my dog. I love him. Don't hit the tripod, Scout. All right, you get the point. Today, I'm going to be discussing the entire lore of the Motch SMP. I actually have it somewhere. It should be in here. Here it is. 2 pieces of paper. I've written everything down today that's happened in the server that you've seen, and also stuff that I haven't put in videos, stuff that couldn't go in videos, stuff that I just didn't want to put in videos. So I've got like 4 pages worth of stuff. Should be like a 10-minute video. So sit back, get some popcorn. We're gonna do some writing. I need to prop this up somehow. I don't know how that's gonna happen. The tray. I need the tray. Smack it. Good old spanking should be good. What? This is like I'm like a conductor, but lower budget, obviously. So, first season. Let's do season 1. A lot of stuff happens in season 1. There's only 5 episodes, so you guys don't see a lot of what happens. First of all, these videos, the first season at least, were actually recorded and produced and exported to YouTube in November of 2022. They weren't released in December on Lectum first. First, they were on Motch, which I explained in that video that I keep referencing. I'm not going to bring it up again. The entire first season up to the final episode was produced in November. So these videos are very old, which is why my face cam was still there. And I don't want you guys to look at the first episode in its entirety because I do show my face there and forget to blur it. So just pretend like it's not there. In the first season, I invite some of my friends. We got Jude, Nick, Hans, Connor, Rachel, and there's a bunch of other people. And by bunch of other people, I mean I forgot how many were actually in the server, and I don't have the footage from the first season for some reason, so I can't look back. So we have like maybe 10 people in the first season, for at least when it's first created. First episode, episode 1. I build the house, I build in the mountain or whatever. I'm trying to draw a mountain here. I build the base. I build the house. The first ever house I built in the season. And it had a secret room. Right here, this little, show it on the screen. The water spot, the water cauldron made out of wood, it has a trapdoor under it, leads directly into my basement, which has all of my storage and the masterminds room, or at least the first one, because someone found that immediately. After that, we moved somewhere else, which I actually don't remember where that was. I don't remember. Let me think here. So we moved from there. Right, we were underground at some point. So that leads to the Masterminds base. I didn't say that in the video, obviously. Masterminds was barely even created that season. At the end of the video, I say, and finally, I made a redstone door. But we don't need to tell people about that just for the sake of the next video. When I show the redstone door, that leads to the Masterminds room, which I also use in the dog napping video. I use the basement to store the dogs. That's the second episode, though. So we build a base, we do a door, and then masterminds. Very important group for the entire season. Second episode, Rachel joins, and they immediately decide, hey, I'm going to steal from the server owner. And in episode 2, Rachel took bones from my chest to go tame some dogs. 13 to be exact. They tame 3 dogs. I don't mention explicitly, but I'm like, there's 3. Play all these clips that I'm referencing, by the way. They tamed 3 dogs, put them in a basement when I threatened them. Threatened to steal them, and I hear them miraculously with no subtitles at all, and I still hear them underground. Right under Sean's house. He edited one of our videos. Don't get me started. So the video ends with me signing a contract saying that I wouldn't harm Rachel or her dogs ever again, called The Great Compromise. I don't mention it because when I was making that video, I didn't put the original, like I used the first original writing, like me writing it, but then I actually didn't save it. First, I somehow didn't save it properly, so the entire thing was blank, and then I had to do it again. So I didn't put that in. Third episode, but at the end of the second episode, we moved to the jungle. I don't show it. I start building a jungle tree house in a storage room, and in that video, I tease. I'm like, I bet no one will steal from it in the future. When in reality, I didn't show it. I keep saying I didn't show it. Jude, Rachel, and Matthew, who I will call Mac because my brother Matthew is also on the server. This is a different Mac. He was not invited, by the way. Nick just sent him an invite and he didn't join the Discord server, which is resulting in chaos. So they find my base. Actually, Rachel finds my base and he points it out. And then they steal my gold, my iron, some of my copper, I think, and Freddie Mercury, which I was supposed to mention. In episode 3, we get a axolotl. I'm gonna name him Freddie Mercury. I don't know, that name naturally came to me. I'm sorry, I don't know why. We get Freddie Mercury in that cave, and Rachel steals them. My brother Matthew knows that Matt, Jude, and Rachel were at my base and they stole him, and he argues with them to give him back, and then I get Freddie Mercury back. I don't put it in the video. But that was a mini quarrel that happened. So from then on, I just kept Freddie Mercury in an ender chest. And after that, they never really came up again in a video. So it's kind of useless. But episode 4. The longest episode is 6 minutes and 38 seconds, I think. So I steal the egg. Inside this ender chest, I have the resources to steal the egg from the end. I go to the end. Okay, I got it. And then I respawn the dragon. Alright, the ender dragon's gonna respawn in a second, guys. We're just gonna wait out over here in the void. You get the point. Stole the egg, and I respawned the dragon. Had the boys over to my house, and we ate McDonald's. After that, Jude was immediately suspicious of me because in the video, everybody else got the achievement for entering the end except for me.
Wait, look, they already defeated the Ender Dragon.
So after we found out that there were 2 gateways, well, they found out that there were 2 gateways.
Are you sure that thing isn't already there?
Jude was like,
oh, so it must be you.
Which was smart because that was true. I didn't take that into account. If I were to steal the egg in another server with my friends, I would make a second account. I would buy another Minecraft account so I could do it and get no chance that it traces back to me. Because I did everything else right. I went to a different stronghold. As it turns out, I realized that when I go to the end, if I go to our stronghold we already found, they're going to see the eyes that are in the portal, meaning that Jude will think someone already went. But if I go to a stronghold that no one's been to, I can secure a way to get out of the end. Or I didn't account for the advancement already showing up for me. So Jude was at my house, and it was just him, Hans, and me. And he was already suspecting me as he was like about to leave. And I was like, okay, Jude, time to leave now. Because, complete full disclaimer, since the server's over, I can say this. Hans and my brother Matthew and Nick were the 3 mastermind members besides me. I was the leader, Hans was like the co-leader, and Nick and Matthew were mastermind members, as well as Hans and me. So Nick and Hans the whole time were collecting information on Jude in groups. The first and second season, mainly the second one because that's where the base came from and the Mogus, all this. Getting off track, we're not even in the second season yet. Hans was trying to act like he didn't know, so he was pretending like he didn't know who stole the egg, and when he did. And the funny thing is, in the video, Nick's like, oh wait, they already killed the Ender Dragon. And I'm like, I knew someone would notice. But then Jude convinces them that was already there. The end gateway was already there.
No, it's not there yet. That's always there.
And then at the end of that fight, I was like, dude, there's 2 now.
There's 2 now. What?
And then Nick was like,
No, dude, that's impossible.
Wait, no, that's impossible because the portal wasn't opened yet.
The thing is, Nick didn't know about the egg being stolen because we had a group chat. I guess he didn't check his phone in time before he came to the house. So he didn't realize that I had stolen the egg until after when I showed him. So like he didn't even know until after the video was made, which was ridiculous. So 4th episode ends, I stole the egg, and a lot of stuff happens in between the finale and this episode. First of all, I build at my little compound in the jungle. I built a dirt wall. First of all, second of all, I built a regular, just cool looking house with a redstone fireplace that if you press a button, it would send you down into a chamber, and there was a pit and you would climb back over the ladder. And there was a book for Jude to read. And I told Hans, hey, take Jude to this house and act like it's inconspicuous, and then find the entrance to the base, and he'll see the book. And it basically said, hey, Jude, I know that you're mad because I stole the egg. If you want the egg back, you have to 1v1 me in like a week. And I'm going to build a Coliseum. I didn't say that. And we're going to fight, and whoever wins keeps the egg. And he agreed to it. And throughout like that time period before the finale, I went to the end to get a bunch of obsidian from the towers. I think I did a bunch of other stuff with the masterminds, like building bases. I don't remember everything because I don't have the footage for some reason. For some reason, I didn't save this. It's all so annoying that I didn't do that. Then, I finished the Coliseum. I made the floor obsidian. We fought, but the night before, he was like,
Oh yeah, I'll go.
and then he loses all his gear, and he just goes up in like iron armor with a diamond chestplate. And people thought that it was like cheating or that I was an unfair advantage. First of all, I would have won anyway. I had full max netherite.
And I got some netherite armor. Pretty beefy netherite armor.
I would have won, no matter what. But second, he agreed to go even though he knew that he didn't have his gear. So it wasn't my fault at all. I was like, dude, do you want to do it? Or we can wait. And he was like,
No, I'll do it.
so I'm not the one who forced anything, obviously. Oh, there's so much. I have to make sure I'm saying everything I'm supposed to say. So the finale, we fight. We fight in front of Hans, Rachel, and my brother Matthew.
You bet on me.
Yep.
Well, I didn't bet anything, so.
What the hell's he doing? He's throwing weakness potions.
I spent like 2 hours mining obsidian, so that was something you probably didn't need to see. Also, I'm remembering some stuff. So I, in anticipation that I would be attacked by everybody on the server, went like thousands of blocks away to a mesa and used one of those like weird eroded pillar things and put a redstone door in it to enter a temporary base. So I was hiding in the mesa before the fight, and then I flew through the nether like a few hundred blocks to get to the spawn where I built the Coliseum. I didn't even need to build that, but that was there. The second season doesn't start until around the time Lectum is taken over, and it's like actual original stuff. Late December, early January. The first episode went January 1st. It was probably a few days before that we recorded it. The rules. Put the rules on the screen.
So basically, we decided in season 2 that we were going to move 10,000 blocks through the nether to a new spawn. And at the end of the season, we would return the spawn and repair all the new builds. That basically meant that all of our gear from the previous season would go in ender chests, and we couldn't access it until we got a new one. We couldn't go back to the old spawn until the end of the season. We couldn't bring any previous pets or materials, and we would have to log on at least once in the entire season staying because some people just didn't log in at all. People were not allowed in the server unless they were in the Discord server. Everything is allowed unless it is from the spawn area. If someone grieves the person, that person has the right to revenge, obviously. If someone builds a complex defense mechanism, you know, just brute force through it. Yeah, that's sort of just for me because I'm the only one who builds redstone stuff. And the final one is probably less important. Countries and cities are allowed at least 2 people must inhabit it to make it a city or country.
And also, I did not mention this in any videos. Perseus in the second season when I'm telling Mackenzie, why'd you steal my door?
I saw someone named Perseus Mogus your door. How does that make you feel?
And he's like,
I'm not doing that. I'm not stealing your door. Why would you think that?
Mackenzie did do that, and he used the name Perseus. But, first of all, Nick wasn't on the server at the time. He hadn't even started yet. But Nick and me, back in season 1, like around the end, Rachel had this wooden apartment building that was bad. It was terrible. The rent or something was bad, and there were really bad rooms, which is what inspired me to build Barry Apartments for free.
This is Barry Apartments. I named it that after Barry B. Benson.
You like jazz?
I'm making an apartment building for people who don't have a place to stay. It doesn't cost any money. It's free of charge.
And it was made out of wood, and I was like, we should burn it. And then Nick was thinking about using a fake name, and he'll deny that I did it. I burnt down the entire thing and left a sign that said Perseus was here and blamed Nick for it. And he, at the time, that's what we did. So then season 2 comes around, and Hans is like, you know Perseus is Nick, right?
Well, anyway, I have to go mining real quick.
And I'm like, yeah, I didn't know that. That's weird. And I knew that all the way back in the first season. So that's kind of a cool little fact that only I know. Up until this point, now you all know it. Everybody on the server. Rachel's probably gonna be extra mad at me. That's a different story, though. So, Nick was not responsible for taking my doors and beds. If it wasn't clear in the video, he didn't steal them. Mackenzie did. Okay. Oh, this is season 1. I'm gonna back up so you can take a nice screenshot. And now, season 2 is starting. I have to erase all this. Okay. That was too dramatic. First episode goes up. Gets like 530 views, which is crazy. First of all, let's look at the roster. We have Jude, Connor, Nick, Hans, Rachel, Mac. If it's spelled with a K or if it's spelled with a C, you pronounce it the same. Mac, don't at me, bro. And we got a few other people. Avery, Victoria, someone who's friends with Jude, joins later. That's a different story. Holy cow. Carrie. There's more people, obviously. There's like 15 in this season. I can't remember all of them. I build all those dirt houses, right? I build like so many of these times 121. I was going to do 100, but then I realized that I did 11 this way and I was going to do 10 that way. And I didn't want it to be off. So I just did 11 by 11. And this was around the time where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hop on the trend of people building huge things. And I just did that the first day. And it was really just for a video because nobody liked the houses, and it was technically Rachel's land. They took down the houses and built a castle and a big house.
And it turns out that Hans built a castle with all the dirt that I used to make the dirt houses with. So this whole video was...
So there's a lot of blank space. So we built the dirt houses, obviously. I built a
simple, basic wooden house.
with plans to burn it, and I don't actually. After taming a dog named Red.
Red. Let's name him Red.
And building a nether portal close to my house. Jude kills Red, but not how I showed it in the video. In the video, it says sweeping damage.
How can you accidentally kill a dog? Can you enlighten me? Sweeping damage.
That's not actually how it happened. Well, first of all, Jude didn't type that, Hans did. His name is Small Big Dude, and it was not the same person. So after that, I didn't put it in the video because there was no time. It was about to be like 11 minutes if I did that. So I just wanted to get it out of the way. But basically, Jude didn't kill the dog by sweeping damage, because I don't even have that on Bedrock naturally. Instead, apparently there was lava, and he was trying to move Red away on a minecart, and he suffocated in a wall. That is way more innocent, but it still doesn't make sense, because in the video, I was looking through it, and I was like, there's no lava near the dog, because I left him near the portal, but there was lava gone. It was all either obsidian, or I had it somewhere else. So I'm waving to the viewers. Hi guys, if you made it in this far, I'm proud of you. And I get my gear back very fast in the video. By the end of the video, I already have max netherite again, because Jude showed me a fortress, and I got some blaze rods, and I got an ender pearl, and I made an ender chest on my own. So I invited Mackenzie. He steals my door a few times. He steals my bed a few times. I don't point it out in the video, but he stole my bed like 6 times. In the montage where I die in the cave with the spider and the few zombies, and then I try to get my gear back, and it says getting my gear back took a while, I put in the chat, I don't know who stole my bed. It was Mackenzie. He stole the bed. And he also stole my door like 4 or 5 times. And I built all the dirt houses, right? And Mackenzie didn't even like it because, first of all,
I'm an atheist.
and second, when he sent the chat saying he had a dirty little shack, it didn't literally mean dirt house. So he actually was just talking about like a wooden box he had. And I just assumed he meant dirt house. And that, I didn't put that in the video. That would have been a funny outro. It's kind of interesting, right? So, first of all, before we go any further, I want to say thanks for watching this far. And I also want to talk about Rachel, because some of you might be like, hey, where are the Fortnite videos? Basically, me and Rachel broke up. And some people are like, oh, that's so sad. But it was for the best, okay? Rachel was being really goofy and really inappropriate. And they got called into the office at the dance for like reverse humping this other person that we were dancing with named Reagan. And the school police saw that, walked them to the office, and wrote him up. Rachel's not the best person. And I feel like that was obvious from the day that I started recording videos with them. They're not very susceptible to taking no for an answer. They don't take no for an answer. They've got an ego. They're an only child. That should explain it. For some of you that have siblings, you should know what that means. Basically, Rachel's being bad, and I'm trying to like wait for some change. I'm like, hey, stop invading my personal space, my boundaries. Hey, please stop doing that. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And they're like, oh, why does it make you feel uncomfortable? Moral of the story, that video got me 700 views. So that's the only good thing that came out of it. And also I learned what I want in a partner. And I also learned that I'm bisexual. Pretty cool. Back to this video, because that's what I was talking about. In the second episode, I tend to do a few things, like teaming up with Jude is the most important of all that. That intro slaps, by the way. Play that.
This is me, mining for ancient debris after I found 32 diamonds with my Fortune 3 pickaxe. I found a total of 9, which is definitely a lot for what I'm going to be doing today. Today, I'm attempting to team up with Jude, my greatest enemy on the Motch SMP.
Because that is so good. I think that's one of my best intros of all time. When I sent the video out, Rachel saw it, and then it was Sunday, because it was uploaded on Saturday. And they were on the server, and they were like, hey, I need something for a redstone door, which is related for later. And Victoria and Jude were like, oh, I'm not going to give you what you need until you tell us about between you and Mitch. And like, what do you mean? They're like, did you see the video? And he was like, yes. I haven't told him anything yet. And then Jude was like, do you like them? And Rachel said yes. And then Jude sent me that. I'm like, okay, I gotta say something. So they, the way they worded it, and they said, the feeling is mutual. Now, I don't know about you, but if someone says the feeling is mutual, that's pretty badass. And that was pretty interesting. I like that. Obviously, it gets worse. When I was building my house, I added that second room
There's a second room to my house.
for storage, and I added the basement, and all of my villagers are there.
From these guys who sell me varying levels of good books.
And around that time, Jude and Victoria, that night, when they heard about Rachel liking me, they put up all these signs in my house and in my basement, and it was like women-related stuff, like women abuse, women rights, women wrongs, all this goofy stuff. And I had to take them all down. There was like probably 100 signs. Episode 2, because there's only like 3 official episodes. I team up with Jude. By the way, that intro, or the thumbnail, I mean, Sean made that thumbnail. He morphed Jude's face, but Jude was gossiping about that and thought it was cringe. So I don't know why he stayed in the server the whole time if he thought me and my channel were cringe. I don't know why he stayed. I don't know why he put up with it. I give him the egg.
He said that if I gave the egg back to the Motch SMP, he would consider the alliance.
And it's up on that pedestal. I streamed a lot of the Motch SMP Season 2 because I had videos out already. I went like 500 blocks away to a snowy tundra mountain kind of thing where Jude and Mackenzie, like in the video I said,
I've got a pretty hidden base, pretty decent stuff, pretty decent gear.
I showed an old base of theirs. They weren't even living there anymore. They were living even further away. So I was around there. I built this huge like dome house, which I show at the beginning of the 3rd episode.
I've got my new base. I've got my dogs.
That was my base that I built for like a whole day worth of streaming. Like I was streaming for like 7 hours probably. And I was there with my friend Diana. And that's where I was putting my dogs. Because I had that dog. I didn't even mention the other dog. Jupiter, which I never thought about again after the season ended. And I found another dog that was just hanging around our base while we were building it. And I just named him Greg. And I had a creeper farm, I had a gunpowder farm, and I had a cactus farm. I made a mistake with the creeper farm because I had the tower all the way up in the air. It was supposed to be at level with my base, and the creeper farm was supposed to go down. I didn't realize until it was too late that I had built that whole thing, and there was a sugarcane farm up there too, so I didn't want to do that. It was messy, okay? And basically, we built that base, and I wasn't at spawn. So Jude took the egg, and then a week later, I'm like, hey, the egg's gone. After Jude was like, hey, are you sure the egg's gone? And I was like, I think it's still there. And he's like, you should check. I check, it's gone, and I'm like, dude, so you stole it? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, so was the whole thing just to get the egg?
So Jude really just stole the egg to see if I would hold up my end of the deal.
Just lying, okay? Because he didn't care about the alliance. That was all my fault. Now I know not to give people stuff very valuable, you know? But I also stole it, so it was kind of both of us. So the egg was, up to that point, before I gave it to the spawn, in my inner chest with Freddie Mercury. They never, like, left my inner chest. Jude had it, and it was around the 3rd episode where I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Jude and Connor were gossiping the whole time, and I was just seeing all of it, and I was like, no. I'm not going to keep doing this, because they clearly aren't invested in the server. Why am I going to... Because I was about to go to war with Jude's faction, because
Me and Rachel built 2 Cantropics.
and it was just a jungle containing this stone wall with a gravel falling piston door that Rachel built, which is what they needed the stuff for earlier that Jude and Victoria got the information from them for. 3rd episode rolls around, and I'm like, I'm done. But we died to a warden
In an ancient city while looking for Swift Sneak.
I just use my old armor, and I max out all my gear and make everything super strong.
But today, I will be getting all of my gear back and making it the most overpowered gear on the Motch SMP.
I'm hopping off the 3rd episode like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to deal with these lying bitches. I was like, yep, I'm going to end the season. Because I originally had plans to do the 4th episode was going to be, hey, let's build this whole civilization and prepare to go to war with Jude. And then the 2nd episode was going to be, hey, let's go and fight Jude for the egg. And either way, the server was going to end. And I was going to prove that I was the strongest member of the Motch SMP. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I named my axe
Penultimate Axe.
And some of you literature guys, or girls, might have said, hey, wait a minute, penultimate means second to last. And I learned that in language arts class like 2 days later, and I was like, I'm gonna change that name. So I changed it to Ultimate Axe 2. The whole time, people weren't able to join the 2nd season because I messed up a geyser update. Geyser is basically this thing that lets you join Bedrock and Java servers together, so you can like all play. But there's different ports. There's one for Java and there's one for Bedrock. I, for some reason, had the port for Java and the port for Bedrock as the same. So the Java port was in the Bedrock port, and nobody could join for months on end. And I was like, oh, I think it's just because the version's different. And Hans was like, I don't think that's true. And for the entire time, I was like, oh, I think the version just needs to update to 1.20. And that never happened. And then eventually Hans was like, let me see the thing. And I showed him. And he was like, oh, your port is wrong. And I was like, oh, well, I guess you were right, Hans. Hans, if you're watching this, love you. And by the time I fixed it, nobody was on anyway. There were like 15 people. Nobody was on but me. So around this time, I was like, okay, screw it. So I did a 4th episode that wasn't any of the Toucan Tropics or fighting. So it was a vlog, and it was like 4 minutes. And we were at my house, and I was trying to upload it to Fluffin' Up Season 2, because it was only like 3 episodes. I wasn't going to end it there. I wanted it to be 4 or 5. I was like, oh, I'll do this video. And it was like 5 minutes. It was terrible, and it deserved no views. So that happened. Rachel and Hans and Nick were there. Jude and Connor were supposed to show up, or they were going to try to show up, but they didn't. They didn't even RSVP yes, so I'm assuming they weren't coming. And we watched Shrek the whole time, but I didn't get a lot of footage of that. In the final episode, I cut out so much. Like, the whole thing, Toucan Tropics, us planning to kill Jude. I found his base. He just showed me it, and I walked over there. I saw what they had. Rachel found their base on accident and, like, blew up some of their stuff on accident, and I was going to blow up their entrance to their house, because they did this really cool thing. I hate Jude's guts a little bit, but what I did love is that they did a lever to enter, open a door. You know, the inside of the lever worked. Like, it's not a button, it's a lever. It's a really technical redstone thing. Like, if you have a redstone torch and a button, it like deactivates whatever it was, and activates it again. With a lever, you can't do that most times. So they set up some really cool people stuff. So I end the series with it's over. It's the final episode. I'm just walking at spawn like, hey guys, the server's over. Connor and Jude are bitches and they're liars and they gossip about me. And I don't feel that bad, because I know that I'm good enough to be loved and respected by my friends, and I feel comfortable enough with myself to not make fun of other people. And I'm happy with who I am. So really, it was them. It wasn't me. And by the way, there were like 2 comments on that video, and both of them were cheering for Jude and Connor for gossiping about me. And I was like, dude. Plus, I'm going to say what I wrote here. Plus, Jude's a douche canoe. And it was easier to not make 2 videos than to put up with liars. Let me erase all this. Make sure, oh, I should have made sure you got your screenshot. You should have gotten it when I was reading, okay? If you guys liked this video, make sure to subscribe, because I definitely need subscriptions. I'll make this short and simple. I want to get to 1K subs and 4K watch hours by the end of the year, and we need to get a lot of views on my videos. That's the point. So just watch my videos on the main channel, and if I get to 1K subs before December, I will daily upload for 1 entire month out of the summer. 2024, I will upload for 1 month completely every day, maybe even multiple times a day. Don't write that down. Don't clip that. And I will make the best possible quality content I can in daily upload fashion. In conclusion, subscribe, please. All right, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If I keep this in a moment. So let me do the math, guys. If we go to our playlists here. So if we look here, that's 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 2 minutes. If we get a calculator here, and we do 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 6 plus 2. It's 24 minutes already in the first season. Plus the second season, which is all like 10 minutes. Plus 9.5 plus 11 plus 10 plus 5.5 plus 2. That is an hour and 2 minutes of like Motch SMP. So this video is actually saving you like 40 minutes.
Actually, it's 34 minutes.
I hope you guys are satisfied, alright? This is the recap that no one asked for. See you guys in the next video.
Dropping like the narco, got dope like Pablo, cut dope like Pablo, trap tree with the Draco.